Hello gurus, welcome to another episode. Hope you're having a beautiful day. We're gonna jump in the charts for Bitcoin. We're at 89,900. We got a pump going into the announcement that there'll be a strategic reserve with Donald Trump, USA government. He announced it, but they announced that the strategic reserve will be made up of crypto that they already hold, crypto that the US government has already confiscated from criminals, etc. Silk Road, majority of it, the guy that just got freed, Ross Ulbricht. And then that announcement came. That wasn't what people expected. They expected that USA and Trump will buy Bitcoin, not just hold the Bitcoin that they already have. They just changed the name. And then we had this big drop. And then there was a lot of hints from senators that today at the White House, there's going to be some big announcements for crypto. And that's why I'm still bullish. Doesn't matter what everyone's panicking about. The USA government now holds $200,000 of Bitcoin, 200,000 Bitcoin, which is 17 billion. Now, what else could be very good news about this is if my theory from the beginning is that the NSA made Bitcoin. And if the NSA made Bitcoin and now the US government has a strategic reserve of Bitcoin, they can't just sell the Bitcoin anymore if they're Satoshi Nakamoto. I talked to etc., etc. I think it's going to pump going into the White House. There's a lot of announcements today. It already pulled back because of the strategic reserve panic. People saying it wasn't really buying Bitcoin, but it was. Now the Bitcoin is backed by the USA strategic reserve. So in a way, it's the US government now is backing Bitcoin. So I don't think the price will go much lower than 84, in my opinion. If other countries start doing the same, we have to see. Hit the subscribe button, and you got to remember, if you just go by the cycles of the Bitcoin cycles, every 4 years there's a halving. For 560 days after the halving, for the last 12 years, there's a massive pump on Bitcoin's price, and it tops out 560 days after the halving. And it's been doing that for 12 years. The cycles are 4 years long. And that's what's happened this time as well. The halving, it was $50,000. We are now at $88,000, reach $110,000. And according to that 560-day cycle, the top of that cycle should be October 2025. That's what I'm betting on, but I'm going to trade the chop because the news Trump is moving the markets a lot. That's what's caused a lot of panic. If this announcement came out a few months ago, the market would have pumped like crazy. It would be 150K per Bitcoin, but because Trump has spooked the markets with the tariffs, it's actually keeping the price down a little bit. Hit the subscribe button, smash up, thumbs up button, turn on the bell. Let's jump into technicals for Bitcoin now. We're going into technicals. Let's go into my trades. Actually, I think I'm getting a bounce, 585, huge bounce back actually. A lot of chop this week, but finishing the week about even. 560 started the week, peak 730, now 585. So almost back a little bit higher, 50K above, which is still very good, not bad for my trading. You can see where it changed already, but I've got now, this is my holdings, 5.5 Bitcoin, 60 Ethereum. The average price is 90,300, so it's not in profits, but it's close. I deleveraged this trade in this morning's video. You can see where I sold on the Trump announcement. Then where I bought, which was only a little bit lower than where I had, and I've got less than where I had before, and now it's higher than where I sold. But I still kind of made profit in a way by doing that, because I bought more. You can see the same with Ethereum. Like I sold here, and then I bought here at 2,100, and I was posting it live on X. This is on 1 minute candles, so if you actually see on the 1 minute, you can see exactly where I bought, which is beautiful, almost exactly the bottom. So I'm trading this chop. And the funding fees are both negative, which is interesting. It means Bitcoin is a little bit oversold. Let's go into the technicals. On the technicals, the market is quite red. Tesla got destroyed yesterday, 5.6%. It's down 46%, and it's triggering a lot of buys on Tesla. Mainly, I'm buying Bitcoin, Tesla, and Ethereum right now, and a few altcoins, but not much. And you can see there is a clear pattern, though, on Bitcoin, which is not beautiful. It's a symmetrical triangle, and these are continuation patterns. Build pressure, and a continuation would be downward breakdown, which would not be beautiful. You can see here it's trending down a little bit. So if that continues on this symmetrical triangle, that would be actually a drop to the downside. Target would be 72K. Just be aware of that, very possible. But it does look like it's heading up. What I'm hoping, there's a 40% chance that it invalidates this and heads up. And I think like this strategic reserve, this White House has a chance, but 60% chance it breaks to that downside. So it's just you have to keep that in mind. It is a continuation pattern. And right now the markets are getting rattled. Like Tesla's down 50%. But these are the two options for Bitcoin. actually almost near an all-time high. I think they could announce something like no tax, but I'm quite bullish long-term during Trump and Elon because they're just not bureaucrats. They're genius businessmen, entrepreneurs. They're going to make a lot of money for America. They're not stupid. Like, bureaucrats never worked a day in their lives. They never started a business. They have no idea about wages, about workers, about industries, they're just talking out of their ass, you know what I mean? Trump and Elon are actual businessmen. They've dealt with people before. They've dealt with problems and businesses, and so I am betting on them, but just be aware that we have a more higher chance to go to the downside. But these are the two patterns. If we look at the daily, we did pull back a lot from the top, but the clear long is at 72K. So if you want to go long, if you're like looking to buy a Bitcoin, 72K is the best place to actually build a big position. So DCA down on these support 78, 82 is also a support, 72 is the major support. So just be aware of that. If you're going to try and take a big trade, I would try to take it at 72. Stop loss like 70, risk 20, risk to reward ratio 1,500 to make 33K. 10x leverage will be 330. But I don't recommend leverage unless you're quite a good trader. You've taken all the courses, you understand what you're doing. Short-term trade, try to pull it off this for a breakout if there is with a tight stop. So in case it doesn't break out, then it'll just hit stop loss, which will be beautiful. That's a target I would take. 11 risk to reward ratio, 1,900 to make 21K. 10x leverage will be 210. And again, I'm in Bitcoin and Ethereum trades. I am very bullish Bitcoin. A lot of people are not understanding what was just announced. What they announced is now that the US government is backing Bitcoin. The US government has a strategic reserve, like a gold strategic reserve, like Fort Knox, but they have it for Bitcoin now with 200,000 Bitcoin, $17 billion. So now the US government is protecting $17 billion. This is very big news. Any Bitcoin they confiscate, they're going to put it in this strategic reserve. And then there was something else that's important. Michael Saylor, I'm going to show you over on X. Michael Saylor talked about, there's also an AMA with Magicraft now. I'm going to jump into this. It's starting right now. But you can also see they're going to announce Xbox win. And you can see where Tesla dropped 30% in 1 month. But I have been buying a lot. Where Michael Saylor explains here. I have a few. So this is in response to David Sachs explaining he's the guy, the Trump guy who put this strategic reserve. What they're trying to say is they're going to try and do the same strategy that Michael Saylor did, but for the US government. You can join everyone in the chat, 892. You can follow much more of what's going on in the chat. Everyone talks about it in real time. It's actually the best way to get information, even better than X, because everyone's talking about things live. All the links are down below. Bybit 60K bonus, Weex $200 bonus on sign up, jamescryptoguru.com for the Telegram and the course. The Telegram is free, so just join everyone in there, start learning, start talking. Love you all. Have an amazing day. That's my updates in the market. Hit the subscribe button, smash up, thumbs up button, turn on the bell. I'm very bullish. This was very big news. If you remember Bitcoin, like over the years, if you've been watching my videos, governments hated it. Trump hated it. The US government didn't touch it. No one talked about it. A few people talked about it, some nerds. Now the US government, Trump signed an order on it. It's part of the Bitcoin strategic. It's come true. It's like gold. Amazing, everyone. Love you all. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.